Hello and welcome to the first episode of MW3 Tips. My name is 808 and each week I'm going to be dishing up some juicy tips on how you can get better at Call of Duty. Now, I consider myself an average player. I don't really care about KD, but that's not to say I like to lose. I'm definitely not about losing, I'm all about winning. So the tips that I'm going to be giving you will be stuff that you can actually put into use. You're not going to have to be some kind of gaming guru or some gaming god in order to use these tips. No, any average person can use these, and they'll definitely improve your game. Now, before we get started, you may be wondering what my accent is all about. Well, I'm from Australia, Sydney to be specific. Yes, that's the city with the pointy white building, with all the singing and the music and the dancing inside. I'm a massive gamer. I've been a gamer for almost 20 years now. I'm a giant first-person shooter fan. Been a COD fan since the original Modern Warfare. I also like Battlefield, so I'm not a COD fanboy. Well, I'm a small COD fanboy, but I'm a slave to all first-person shooter games. So, that's enough about me. How about we get started? I've got a nice little class setup for you today. It's a class setup specifically for games, team games like Kill Confirmed or Team Deathmatch, and it's been a staple in my class setups for quite some time now. If I'm at a bit of a loss or if I've not been doing well with a new setup, this is kind of my fallback. Now, this is an aggressive class setup tailored to all those people who like to run and gun and get right up in there in the action. So we'll be using all the perks and kill streaks and attachments to tailor for this kind of playstyle. So for this aggressive class setup, I'm going to go with the UMP45, which is probably not the best SMG in the game, but when you slap range on this bad boy, it becomes an absolute beast at short to medium range. For the attachment, I'm going to recommend the extended mags. It just allows you to continually fire at the bad guys for an extended period of time and help you out in those sticky situations. Plus, extra ammo is always nice. For the secondary weapons, we're going to go with the Scorpions in Akimbo. There's probably better choices like the MP9 in terms of accuracy, but the Akimbo Scorpions are just a hell of a lot of fun to use and good to whip out in tight situations. For our equipment, I'm going to recommend that we use the Semtex and the flash grenade. The Semtex is awesome because you don't need to cook it, you just lob that little bad boy out and boom! And the flash grenades are always very useful to lead into a fight, particularly when you're using an SMG and you need to close that gap between you and the enemy as quickly as possible. So you just lob one or two of those bad boys out and the enemy won't know what hit them. So let's take a look at our point streaks. For this class setup, I'm going to go with a reasonably low point streak. So we're going to be going 3, 6, and 7. The reason for this is if you're playing aggressively, chances are you're not going to be able to hang back and get those big point streaks. So we're going to be choosing the UAV. The UAV is always a sure bet when playing team-based games. It helps you out, helps your team out, and is always a winner. We're going to go for the airstrike. It requires a little bit of thinking before you use it. It's generally worthwhile waiting for a UAV until you plant your airstrike. But it can be very deadly if you get on an enemy spawn or collect a whole bunch of enemies. And for our last point streak, we're going to choose the attack helicopter. Provided no one on the enemy team has a stinger or some other means of bringing it down, this thing can rack up a huge amount of kills and is very, very effective. For our perks, I'm going to go with Sleight of Hand. Now, you may argue that we don't need Sleight of Hand because we've got extended mags on the UMP, but it definitely will help us reload faster and allows us to swap to our secondary weapons faster too if you have the Pro variation. For our red perk, we're going to be using Quick Draw Pro. This allows us to aim a lot faster and allows us to recover from using our equipment quickly as well. And for our yellow perk, I'm going to go for Steady Aim. So basically this will allow us to have much improved accuracy when firing from the hip, which chances are if you're running around you're going to be doing a lot of. I must say I had a huge amount of fun collecting gameplay and clips for this particular class setup. Got some pretty good scores in game and just had generally a good time playing with this particular class. Always fast-paced action when you're running a class setup, an aggressive class setup like this one. But give it a go yourself and let me know how you go with it. I'd definitely like to hear your thoughts. But anyway, that is it for the very first episode of MW3 Tips. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please consider dropping us a thumbs up or leaving us a comment in the comment section below. If there's anything that you'd like me to cover in the future, be sure also to leave me a comment. I will definitely do my very best to address all questions and concerns. I've got some really good stuff coming up in the coming weeks, so definitely stay tuned. To make sure that you don't miss out on any content, please hit that subscribe button so that you can get each week's new video, and remember to stay tuned to Game Tyrant for all your gaming news. If you want to check out my channel, the address is up on the screen right now. But otherwise, I look forward to seeing you all next week. See you later.